You have lots of shootings, and shootings are happening in Louisville and all throughout Kentucky. So if people want to say, well, Louisville, man, it's getting bad, it is getting bad in Louisville. It's getting bad in Kentucky. But then, again, our leaders, that's, 33 executions that the Kentucky police have, popped off in the last 2 years. 33 executions, they're killing people, and they show what manhood is, right? That's how you're supposed to, that's what you're supposed to do. In Europe, they got problems of police not doing enough. Here we got police who just do way too much and start shit where shit doesn't need to be started, and they wind up killing people. They just killed that one guy in Louisville, right? They could have shot him in the leg, but instead they went ahead and took Darnell Wicker's life, and they killed him. Could have shot him in the leg, could have done something, but they wanted to kill the man. They wanted to kill the man, and they got him. So this happened earlier in August. This would be the 68th murder in Louisville, and it was just kind of the craziest shit. There was a birthday party that was happening in the West End, and somebody got into a car. They came out. They shot Andre Mosley, 47, and Lachey Dorsey, 36. And then I heard that another person was shot, but they went to the hospital and they'll live. So, and the story, which is very sparse, was that the intended target wasn't shot, and these other two folks wound up getting shot instead. And what? What the fuck is going on, Louisville? You got all these gangs that's all around, but why do you got gangs? Well, because you got the LMPD doing the same damn shit. They're supposed to be the good guys. They're not the good guys. They should apologize to me, pay for my fucking medical bills, but they didn't want, they destroy people's lives, and then they go home and, to their wife and kids and act like they're good fucking people. So that's happened. There's been 68 murders, but it's not, like I said, it's not exclusive to just Louisville. Just recently you had a shooting, an active shooter on the base, on Fort Campbell, and this was, 6 days ago. So 6 days ago, you got an active shooter. So a soldier was taken into custody, and we don't know anything, but in Airfield Hangar 8, there was a soldier that was, an active shooter. So apparently there was an incident, and I don't know if any shots were reported. No injuries were reported. So clearly, that's what the Army posted in a brief statement, that the post is secure and there's no danger to the community. Gates are open, come one, come all, essentially, but they didn't say who the possible suspect was, but they did say that they weren't on lockdown, so it's over. They said to hear some explosions. They're doing some shit, live mine, clearing line charges. I don't know. This is the 101st Airborne Division. So you're going to hear loud explosions if you live near Fort Campbell, but it's not the active shooter. What's the active shooter? What was he doing? We don't know. But that happened 6 days ago, and that's southern western Kentucky. Here in Georgetown, this would be in central Kentucky, right next to Lexington. You have Michael Davidson killed a 17-year-old. A 27-year-old, it says it was a sleepover or some shit, and then on Saturday about 5 in the morning there was a shooting, and a juvenile was found dead. And then they searched him. They found him at the Capitol Mobile Park in Franklin County. And they didn't say who the juvenile was, and then they said more charges are going to be put on this Michael Davidson. So a 27-year-old is killing, I think, a 17-year-old in Georgetown. Why? What for? What's going on? What's up with that shit? There's a fatal shooting of a 21-year-old Kentucky woman, Russellville. The Russellville Police Department is investigating a fatal shooting of a 21-year-old woman. I'm not sure exactly where Russellville is. Let's take a look at that. And so, police charged man with the murder of the 15-year-old. Okay, so I got that wrong before with the Georgetown. I'll get to the Russellville one here in a second. But it was a 15-year-old, and she lived in the Stamping Ground Trailer Park early Saturday. And he was charged with discharging a firearm into a residence. And so I don't know what the fuck happened. He shot at the building and wound up getting her and shot her and killed her. The death of Morgan Marie Penn. So Morgan Marie Penn is the death of the 15-year-old, and yeah, they should. I don't know why. If if my kid or whatever, tell them the names. That's the way that they can live on and unidentified. So not only did they get snuffed out of life, but even in history, even in the reports, it's like, well, we don't know the law about this. What do you mean? They're fucking dead. So why don't you bring them back to life at the very least with their name in the article? So it said Morgan Marie Penn was spending the night at a friend's house when the shooting occurred. And let's see, it was identified them. She's a student at Scott County, 9th grade. She is the kind person everybody loved, a free-spirited butterfly. That's what her mother said. And let's see, trailers 21, 22. The police had tape all over the place. No reason. It just seems like it's just an insane, crazy shooting. Probably a spurned lover, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is in this 27-year-old's mind. Michael K. Davidson, right? Killed a 15-year-old girl. She's dead now. And that was in Georgetown. So Russellville is in Logan County, and of course we all know that Logan County is in the southwest. So this is also kind of not where Fort Campbell is, but around southwest Kentucky, on the border of Tennessee. And so what happened here? According to the authorities, they received a shots fired call shortly between 1 a.m. Sunday at the Robinwood Apartments on 260 Highland Lick Road. When they arrived to the scene, they found Lexis Bell with a gunshot wound. She was taken to the Logan Memorial Hospital, pronounced dead. Bell was targeted. Not a random act of violence. No arrests have been made. No further details been released. So that's it. Just a 21-year-old person was shot, and Lexis Bell. So we got her name. We don't know anything else, and that's the only information you're going to get. So fuck you. And that's insane. The way the media and the police are, the way they obfuscate the fucking truth, the way they keep the cards close to their fucking hand. I don't know. I think there might be a tactic to it sometimes, but not really. I think the more that the public knows and understands, the public, they have a better sense of morality than the police. And so if a person, the people want to say like Al Capone and some of those bank robbers, and people admired them because during the Great Depression they were taking matters into their own hands and they was doing something to get out of their circumstances, so people would cheer them on. But I think, though, if the people had been savages, if they were raping and murdering for whatever fucking reasons, I just feel like the more information that you get out, the better. The more information you put out there, the better. So the public knows what the hell's going on, and by the public knowing what's going on, they come across the person, then they could be for sure that, you need to call the police and you need to say what the hell's up. And But, a lot of the times it's kind of like, well, which gang do you want to go with? Do you want to go with Gang A or Gang B? And I don't know if you could always say Gang A is any better than Gang B. They're all a bunch of gangs. They're all a bunch of, killers and thugs and oppressors, and they don't give a damn about you or anybody else. It's about their career. It's about their business. It's about their money. They don't give a shit about you. So, Lexis Bell, here's another article. This one seems to be a bit better, KentuckyNewEra.com. And I like these websites that don't want to charge me for, subscriptions. So, Justin's story of the Bowling Green Daily News. This happened 7 days ago. Let's see, the 22nd, August 22nd, so it'd be 9 days ago. Police are searching for leads. The Lexis Bell shot Robinwood Apartments, 6B. 620 Highland Lick Road in Russellville. Police responded to shots fired before 1 a.m. on Sunday. Bell, Russellville native, was taken to Logan Memorial Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Said it wasn't a random act. There's a Facebook page, lists her residence as Marietta, Georgia. Several pictures of her with her son. Person who answered the phone at the police department in the morning said that no new information had been released. So, yeah, the person who answered at the police department. When I worked at, just fucking Burger King, or any place I've ever worked at, it's like, hey, John Masters, Burger King, how may I help you? Here's who I am. Here's what I represent. Can I help you? Right off the bat. But, it sounds like they called the Russellville police, and they're like, Hi. Hi? Who the fuck is this? And then why are you answering the phone so disrespectfully? So fucking, hi? Hello? Like you're a fucking guy on the street? You're not a guy. You're the authorities, right? You're supposed to be the good fucking guys. But they want to, well, we're not going to tell you nothing. We're fucking smart and skeptical and shit. So this is the second homicide in Russellville in as many months, and is the third shooting incident this year. So that's, March 16th, Amanda Harper was shot, wounded by her ex-boyfriend, Joseph Harris, in the parking lot of McDonald's. Harris, 34, was shot, killed minutes later by RPD officers. So, he shot him. He shot her, right? As the situation unfolded, Russellville Donuts owner Vanna Crane was injured. So, how did she get injured as the situation unfolded? I don't know. Patrick P.J. Gilbert, 29, of Russellville, was shot and killed July 24th on Edward Street. Police arrested Gregory Jap Posey of Russellville 4 days later in connection with the incident. Charges of murder, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. The case has been sent to a grand jury. So, there's been shootings that have been happening in Russellville recently. There's been shootings that happened in Fort Campbell, a shooting that happened in Georgetown. Here's a shooting that happened in Rowan County. So this is Moorhead, northeast Kentucky. And the man has been charged with murder following a deadly shooting in Rowan County on Tuesday. The scene is on Brown Ridge Road. Kentucky State Police say 59-year-old Teddy Johnson was arrested Tuesday afternoon, charged with murder. He's in the detention center. And it doesn't make sense. They don't really explain the situation either. There's a story to this, right? What the fuck happened? So Rowan County Coroner John Northcutt Jr. has identified the victim as 24-year-old Marvin James Adkins. The coroner says the body has been taken to the medical examiner's office. By the time troopers arrived, the man is reportedly causing trouble. Left. They used a K-9 to search the area. Couldn't find nothing. One trooper stayed. A short time later, the man went back to the home, and there's another altercation, and then that's when one of the subjects was shot. We're all subjects, right, to King Matt Bevin. Matt Bevin's the king, and all these guys are making sure we're the fucking subjects. And slaves would rather attack each other than actually attacking the main oppressor. So Teddy Johnson killed John Northcutt Jr. for whatever fucking reason. Or no, my bad. That's the coroner. Teddy Johnson shot and killed 24-year-old Marvin James Adkins over an altercation. They said that Atkins staggered across the street, then collapsed in a field where he died. Police say there were multiple people in the home at the time of the shooting, so plenty of witnesses. This is in Rowan County. So we got shootings in southwest Kentucky, central Kentucky, northeast Kentucky. Kentucky man arrested in fatal shooting at sleepover. I think that's going to be the same one as the Georgetown shooting. But this is, shootings are happening all over the place. 15 have been executed by the police this year, 16 last year, and it's August, so it seems like they're going to surpass last year's numbers. And they serve as the example. And if the police always want to start trouble where trouble does not exist, and they want to escalate situations and make it worse, I just don't see the point, to actually having them around. They are fucking people's lives over. Kentucky is the #1 most corrupt state. These judges get paid $130,000 a year. Prosecutors get paid a shit ton of money. Cops are getting paid, a decent wage. I would love to be a cop. I think a cop I'd be the baddest, the greatest fucking cop you've ever seen. I would be a pillar of the community. I would be at basketball games. I would be going to, picnics and events, and I would show, care. And hopefully, find a wife and have some kids, and then I could go to, all these different sort of festivals and shit. Personally, I don't really go to the fair, the theater. It's all right. I don't mind watching movies, by myself. But just, be a pillar of the community. So go around, hey, how's the wife? How's the kids? They're working on this, they're working on that. Cool, just not getting in their business, but just being concerned about them, just knowing them before anything pops off. so that way it's not like I'm a complete stranger coming out of fucking nowhere, and I'm Billy Badass, shut the fuck up, I'm the fucking boss around here, and don't you, disrespect me. So, I mean, you could go up onto a scene, and the victim is hysterical because they've been oppressed for a long-ass time, they're ones that's being victimized, but if you come up on the scene as Billy Badass, and that hysterical person was like, man, don't fucking talk to, just flips out, you're going to be fighting the victim. You're going to be re-victimizing the victim because you're a piece of shit. Because you're an egotistical piece of shit. And that's just no good. That is just no good. Why be an egotistical piece of shit? Why not just be a regular piece of shit? Why put your ego in it? So, maybe some more information. The Washington Times. So, Washington Times, this is going national, right? There's a murder happening. And this is all August. This is within the week of August, right? So, yeah, 2 people did get shot in Louisville. People are getting shot all across Kentucky. Citizens on citizens, cops on citizens. I haven't heard of any police officers being shot. So, it just seems like cops are shooting citizens and citizens are shooting citizens. And that's... whatever, make that of what you will. It's supposed to be the most dangerous job in the world. Actually, being a logger, being a farmer, being a garbage collection worker, those are more dangerous jobs. In fact, it turns out if you have a gun and you have state power, even if you're in dangerous situations, it's still not a dangerous job. And people get, adrenaline rush out of that. So you pick the job. It's supposed to be a little bit dangerous. And, I don't feel sorry for people when they shoot that guy. I mean, they killed that fucking guy. They killed that Walker. They killed that man in Louisville. They could have shot him in the leg, but, they killed him. They didn't have to kill him, but that young punk, he wanted to get a fucking, get a body under his badge, get a body under his thumb. Oh, yeah, I killed a guy. Yeah, you're a fucking murderer is what that means. You did not protect the public. You killed the public. And when you going to do it again? They get away with this shit. In fact, the only time I actually heard Laurel County, there was a constable that had shot a guy, and he was brought up on charges. The grand jury indicted him. But go to Boone County, Samantha Ramsey, those fucking political operatives, they waited until after the elections, and then the grand jury just so happened to not have passed a bill. In Louisville, when the cops beat me up, they tried to get me, for me indicted. They tried to get me fucking indicted because I got my ass kicked. And then I got raped in jail. And I don't like fucking saying that because, frankly, the people that I've said it to, including people that have, ran for office, and you would think politicians would be more, they make jokes about it. That's how sick fucking men are. I mean, men are fucking raping people, and then when you say, hey, I got raped, they say, oh, did you like it? And, I don't know what else to have done in that situation. I still don't know what else to do in that situation. So you're in jail, a jailer tries to do some shit to you, and you turn around and what? You beat them up, you use violence, and then they'll just beat the shit out of you in the fucking corner. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's happening. Janiyah McMillan, she got fucking killed in jail, right? She's dead, and this shit happens a lot. This shit happens often. And what am I supposed to do? Fucking trust that eventually I'll be able to tell somebody that these people did something? I did tell people. I told the Louisville Professional Standards Unit. So, yeah, they're going to investigate themselves. Give me a fucking break. They ain't going to investigate jack shit. That's the fucking problem. They're a bunch of criminal thugs. They're a bunch of gangsters. They're gangsters. And they're not even cool gangsters. They're shitty gangsters. He was going to throw that fucking complaint away because fuck you, fuck your life. We're allowed to rape the shit out of you. We're allowed to fucking do whatever the fuck we want to. We can beat you up and rape you for no fucking reason. Why? Because we're the cops and fuck you and fuck your life. And what recourse do I have? Thankfully, I did find a lawyer, but it was hard to do, and I was not happy with the other lawyers from the same firm. They sabotaged the fucking case. One was an ex-cop, and he's, cops can do no fucking wrong. Fuck you, you fascist piece of shit. Fucking fascist, man. And then who's there to pick up the pieces? Who is there to fucking say, hey, man, everything's going to be okay. Hey, man, you're going to be all right. Nobody. Nobody's there. So it's a psychopathic, it's being led by a bunch of psychopaths. There's not anybody to actually help the people that are getting victimized. You know what I need? I need some fucking justice. I need for somebody to say, well, that's wrong, and then they go after it. People want to get pissed off at that swimmer because he only got 6 months because of that rape. But what happens to these fucking jailers that are raping people? They get charged at all, or does everybody cover their fucking crimes up? Well, you went to jail, you must be guilty. No, that's not it. I'm a man, so fuck my life. If you're a woman, okay, well, that's a rape that we're going to fucking take serious. You're a man, fuck your life. Fuck your life for anyone. Go overseas and get your fucking head blown off. People don't give a shit. I saw this one heartwarming game as a Japanese or something, soccer game or whatever, and the boys were like, it was like, hey, putting their faces and, putting their hands on them and showing them comfort and niceness. So that's, America doesn't have that. Empathy, love for one another, this homophobic fucking culture, a bunch of psychopaths, dog eat dog, some sink, some swim, the fucking rat race. Laissez-faire, fucking, fuck them before you get fucked type of mentality. That's what's predominant here. I got mine, fuck you. It's tribalism. And you know what? I was able to get through the system and I was able to do well, so how come you can't? I don't know. Luck? You got through it through luck? So it says that she was visiting the mobile home park for a sleepover. So it sounds like she didn't even get, Michael K. Davidson didn't even know this 15-year-old. Apparently, I don't know. There's no story to it. It's just dead person, this guy's accused, and there's going to be more charges. I don't even know if does that help? Description of the vehicle leaving the scene, and then they eventually found the guy. So yeah, he shot the guy, random shooting into a trailer park home. 15-year-old girl's dead, and it was a sleepover. So was that the target? Did he actually go after the person he was targeting? So this isn't just a Louisville thing. People want to put it on Louisville because that's where black people are. And fuck that racist bullshit. The cops are white. They're the ones killing. The citizens are white all throughout the state. They're the ones killing. So to put it on black folks is absolutely insane. We're number one with mental health. We're number one with poverty, poor education, poor health. Kentucky's got some serious issues, serious institutional issues that's happening right here. And now we got Matt Bevin and his shock doctrine. You want to see what's going to happen to Kentucky? Check out 1973 Chile. When shock doctrine happened to Chile, for 30 fucking years, it was a dictatorship. Fucking follow your massa, or else, you're going to get thrown in a gulag, and you're going to, your entire life is going to be fucked over. So I do not have, you hope for the best, but you expect the worst, and the worst is going to be, Kentucky's going to feel the fucking hurt. Shock doctrine, they're going to make the economy scream, and that means they're going to put a fucking pinch on people that's already been pinched for such a long time. So, no mental health, and I don't know. I just don't understand that when I was going through my shit, there was nobody that I could go to. There was nobody I could go to. I feel better now, kind of, but essentially I feel like I've got it figured out. You're a bunch of assholes. You don't give a fuck about anybody else, so it's on me to be able to survive and make sure shit like that don't ever happen again. And, by however means that I can do that. So, avoid the situation is the easiest way, and that's where I'm at right now. And so I feel like I've come to some conclusions about how society is and how people are. But that's the thing. Is like I'll just give this one last example, and that's I'll call it a night. But essentially, it's just about choosing life. Okay, so, mothers are good at taking care of a baby, and when they take care of a baby, babies are little tyrannical assholes, right? They are crying all the time. Every little thing is so shitty to them. They shit all over the place. You have to clean up their shit, and if you love that baby and you want it to live, then you do all that. You clean its shit up, and when it cries, that's how a baby lets you know that something is wrong. So if it's crying, is there a health thing that's, going on? Is it just a noise? Is it just a crying baby? Or is there actually, that's how it lets you know that something's going on. And so if you just want to yell at the baby and make it to where it's not crying anymore, well, what happens when it has an ailment that, needs to be tended to? Well, it's not going to say nothing, and a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So the mothers understand that when you pick life, then you have to go through some shit. If you pick life, life is better. Love is what makes life worth living. And so when you pick life, that's you actually choosing life. You're enjoying other people's, living situations. You have shared experiences, and you're in this thing together. And we're all, whether you acknowledge it or not, we're all in this thing together. All for one and one for all. So instead of oppressing each other or being someone's bitch, why don't we work for liberation? Where, we have modest income, we got running water, most people have shelter here, so I don't understand why it has to be so damn hard. Look at Maslow's hierarchy. Life is simple. We all need the same things: food, water, clothing, shelter, safety, love and belonging, confidence, self-esteem, cognitive and aesthetic needs, and then transcendence, right? The self-actualization. So, but at the very bottom, water, food, clothing, shelter. You're not getting those things. There's the source of the insanity. There's the source of the insanity. Love and belonging, so they got food and water. Does anybody give a shit about them? So if I'm a police officer and there's a person, an older man, or it's just even a young man, a young person, anybody who's just kind of out there by themselves, hey, how are you doing? Would you like to, do this or do that? Just be a person who gives a shit. And that's a quality that I'm going to probably hold on to the day I die. I do give a damn. And I don't see that in society. People who give a damn. Mothers do that for their children, but that's why I say tribalism. So families take care of their own, but what about your neighbor? That's a Christian thing, right? To care about your neighbor, to care about the poor. I just don't see this shit. I don't see this shit, and I think it's a big-ass fucking problem. And it's simple. Love is what, that love is what makes life worth living. And when you choose life, and a person is homeless, and don't have shelter, and they're like, fuck you, you asshole. Well, if you got a home and you got a good job, accept that little berating. He's crying, he's hurting, look behind it. Is he saying fuck you? Maybe he is. But he's also saying fuck everybody else who's walked past him and didn't give a shit that he's living on the fucking streets. You fucking unempathetic assholes. You got your job, you got your fucking money, so fuck everybody else, right? And then people are doing pretty well. I heard that there's some people out here that's like, oh my God, I got too much work. There's so much work out here. So you fucking capitalists are doing fucking grand. And then meanwhile, people are struggling out here. And then you got what? You need some fucking poor schlub to shit all over. It's just that life is simple. We all need freedom. We all need food, water, clothing. We all need safety. And then past that, okay, go out and hustle for yourself. We all need love and belonging. We need self-esteem. So these are things, that we all need. We all fucking need them. And so life is simple because we're all the same. We come from the same baby. We all come out of Africa and evolved from monkeys, from ape-like creatures, not monkeys, but chimpanzees are our cousins, our long-distance cousins. And the bonobos. And the bonobos actually have a better, they seem to be more civilized than the chimpanzees. And humans sometimes. One last thing, chimpanzee, that movie, the mother died, and then eventually the alpha male picks up little baby Oscar or whatever, and he takes care of him. He could have easily just pushed Oscar away, but he was like, all right, little baby Oscar. And little baby Oscar was a nuisance. He had, when they were fighting and had to fight other fucking tribes and shit, you had to protect this little baby. But that's how the tribe carries on. And, when it grows up, it grows to be big and strong. You have something to be proud of. It's something that'll carry on your legacy and your namesake. And I don't know why I have to fucking say this shit. Seems like this shit should be obvious. And there's going to be a brain drain, Kentucky. It's like Reconstruction. It wasn't just black people that got lynched, but white people that thought black people were people too. So you're going to sit there and be dumb and backwards and stupid, and you're going to fucking kick out any of the smart. It's idiocracy. You're going to kick out any of the intellectual people or smart people that could have actually done something for the communities. And for what? Because you're jealous? Because you don't think that you could have done? I mean, I just don't know. I just do not fucking get people, to be honest with you. It's frustrating. I still have hope, right? Hope for the best. Expect the worst, but hope for the best. Well, shit. People are dying. People are getting murdered. And that's the worst crime anybody could commit. One person could commit to another is to kill somebody. Everything that person is and never will be is gone. 15 years old. And she might not have even been the victim. So what the hell is this guy doing shooting people? Get to the heart of it. I bet you there's a logical explanation, but it's not logical, right? If you're doing criminal acts. But is there poverty? Is there, was he abused as a child? Child abuse is some fucked up shit. Proves that violence is the answer. Violence is the answer. Okay, well now he just fucking shot somebody. Good job, child abusers. You all proved that violence was the fucking answer. You feel good about yourselves? Oh yeah, you'll look down on him for using violence, for thinking violence is the answer, but you beat the shit out of him his whole